Brendan Fraser is an American-Canadian actor who was frequently a leading man on the big screen between the 90s and 2000s. He was great in George of the Jungle, but what really catapulted his career was when he played Rick O'Connell in the Mummy trilogy. It seemed that the gorgeous and talented actor was destined to become an A-list celebrity who is set to star in major blockbuster movies and become one of the most bankable actors in the film industry. But then after The Mummy, it seemed as though Brendan Fraser's stardom just fizzled out despite his incredible physique, incredible on-screen presence, amazing comedic timing, and leading man charms. Hi, welcome to YouWannaWatch, and in this video, we're going to talk about whatever happened to Brendan Fraser. Brendan, who was born in Indiana in 1968, attended the Cornish College of the Arts in Seattle before breaking into the film industry. In 1991, Brendan stepped into the world of acting with a role in the drama Dogfight. His breakthrough came with his role in the 1992 film Encino Man. He quickly became one of Hollywood's most in-demand actors, working alongside Steve Buscemi, Rachel Weisz, David Spade, and others. Brendan appeared in the critically acclaimed film Crash in 2004. The film featured an ensemble cast that included Sandra Bullock, Don Cheadle, Matt Dillon, and Terrence Howard. The Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture went to the King of the Hill alum, who played District Attorney Rick 𝗕𝗿𝗏 in the film, and his co-stars. Brendan began taking fewer film roles after a decade of dominating the action, comedy, and fantasy genres. Instead, he focused much of his attention on his personal life. Nonetheless, fans rallied around him to see what he would do next after his iconic portrayals influenced so many people's childhoods. He never completely left Hollywood, but he did continue his career by appearing in cameos on television shows and doing voiceover work. In 2021, a TikTok video of Brendan talking to a fan about his resurgence in Hollywood films went viral. "Just know that the internet is so behind you, we're so supportive," the interviewer and longtime fan, 𝗪𝗵𝘁, said. "There's so many people out there who love you, and we're rooting for you, and we can't wait to see what you do next." The actor was emotional after the comment was made, showing a vulnerable side to his massive fanbase who are still rooting for him, even after all of these years. Memorable roles. Brendan appeared in several films before landing the lead role in 1997's George of the Jungle. According to IMDb, it was one of his first successful box office films, grossing over $174 million worldwide. With the first installment of the Mummy trilogy in 1999, his box office success continued. Brendan played Rick O'Connell in the film, a role that has become synonymous with him. He returned to the role in The Mummy Returns in 2001 and The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor in 2008. The trilogy was so popular that a roller coaster based on the films was built at Universal Studios Hollywood and Florida theme parks. Brendan's fame extended beyond the realms of film and television. From 2002 to 2004, the Saturday Night Live host had a recurring arc on Scrubs and voiced characters in The Simpsons and The Fairly Odd Parents. Being a Hollywood himbo destroyed his body. If you've seen Brendan Fraser's 1990s work in films like George of the Jungle, Encino Man, and Airheads, you'll know he was very, very good at one thing: acting stupid while looking beautiful. Unfortunately, maintaining such a look for himself took a heavy toll on his body. Brendan told GQ that his himbo phase caused him to try too hard, in a destructive way. He pushed himself to deliver fantastic physical performances in his films, doing stunts and taking injuries for the good of everyone, except, clearly, himself. His body was in such bad shape by 2008 that he had to construct an exoskeleton for himself out of tape, ice, and downhill mountain biking pads that could fit under his clothes on a daily basis. He spent the next 7 years in and out of hospital, receiving surgeries to repair the damage caused by his career. This included partial knee replacement, spinal procedures, and even vocal cord surgery. In an interview with GQ, Brendan compared himself to the horse from George Orwell's Animal Farm, who would work and work and work for the good of the whole and do so until it killed him. Brendan had been sent to Hollywood's glue factory, but luckily for everyone, he made his way back out. But not without some unwarranted criticism. Ridiculed and body-shamed. During Brendan's physical turmoil, tabloids and gossip blogs became increasingly cruel about his changing appearance. Critics were shocked to learn that the once hot star had succumbed to the natural aging process and had mysteriously lost his signature abs and luscious long hair. Several publications gleefully published images of Fraser looking so bald his head fell somewhere between hard-boiled egg and Don Rickles, and then ran similarly critical articles claiming he'd had hair plugs installed. Meanwhile, the Daily Mail ran an entire news item them about Brendan's figure, mocking him for appearing substantially larger. The infantile jibe they led with, "Who ate all the pies?" They were truly kicking a man when he was down, whether they realized it or not. After all, as a man undergoing multiple surgeries, working out for rock-hard abs was probably low on Brendan's priority list. Brendan took the jabs in stride during an interview with Parade, but it's unclear whether he was speaking honestly or defensively about the subject. Brendan claimed he consciously gained weight for the film 𝗪𝗼𝘀 Vengeance to help him with physical comedy, and that both kids and adults enjoyed it. Struggled to be taken seriously as an actor. Though every fan of the actor can pinpoint Brendan Fraser's incredible star power, a charismatic man who can deftly switch between dramas and blockbusters, it was precisely these qualities that caused Hollywood executives to be unsure of what to do with him for much of his career. In an Entertainment Weekly feature that suggested Fraser deserved some respect, an anonymous studio executive sharply remarked, "His name on the marquee is a guarantee of mediocrity." This was an actor who was one of the main bankable leads in the 2004 Oscar-winning film Crash, and who proved his acting skills opposite legit thespian Ian McKellen in the critically acclaimed indie hit, Gods and Monsters. However, Brendan's decision to choose well-paid, popular gigs like the Mummy trilogy, George of the Jungle, and Journey to the Center of the Earth harmed his career and ability to maintain any true acting. Brendan's motivation for selecting such films. "Money. I wanted to start a family," he explained to the magazine. Non-consensual encounter which ruined his self-worth. In 2003, an incident occurred that would have a significant impact on Brendan Fraser's career. In an interview with GQ in 2018, the actor discussed how Philip Burke, a former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, inappropriately touched Fraser at a luncheon. Burke admitted to the incident in his 2014 memoir, but portrayed it as a playful butt pinch that he thought was a joke until Brendan's publicist threatened him with legal action for the episode. Fraser remembered it differently, and recounted to GQ how he was overcome with panic and fear as Burke grabbed an cheek and used a finger to touch the actor in the taint. Brendan described how his version of the incident, which Burke disputed to the magazine as being a total fabrication, made the star feel ill and like he was going to cry. He further alleged that the HFPA said it would never allow Burke in a room with Brendan again, something which Burke denied, and which the HFPA declined to comment on. The star felt moved by the wonderful #MeToo movement, seeing women he considered his friends like Ashley Judd and Mira Sorvino having the courage to speak out about something which he didn't have the courage to say. Stating that he is still frightened, he added, "Maybe I am overreacting. I just know what my truth is." We are nearing the end of our video, but before we proceed, we would like to ask you to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/c/YouWannaWatch2022 and follow us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/YouWannaWatch. Any support you provide us will help us provide you with more and better content. Okay, now back to the story. The collapse of Brendan Fraser's marriage. In 2007, Brendan Fraser and his wife Afton Smith announced the end of their 9-year marriage and shared a public statement that they continue to maintain a close and caring friendship. According to The Sun, the two had met at an Independence Day barbecue hosted by Winona Ryder in 1993, where they likely and adorably discovered they shared the same birthday. They raised 3 children together, who were all under the age of 7 at the time of the separation. The former couple, understandably, kept their marriage dissolution private, but that didn't stop tabloids from digging their claws in. According to Star magazine, Brendan has grown closer to Maria Bello, his co-star on The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. As usual, the rumor was unsubstantiated, and there was no evidence that Brendan had cheated. Unfortunately, the couple's dirty laundry would be exposed in 2013, at least financially. According to HuffPost, Brendan became broke and requested that his annual $900,000 child support payment to his ex-wife be reduced. When their divorce settlement was reached, Smith retaliated by accusing Brendan of fraud and concealing $9 million in new film contracts. Brendan remained firm. The uncertain future of his career, combined with his medical issues, meant he wasn't making much money. His Broadway debut ended after just 1 week. Brendan, who was reportedly broke and struggling to find success on screen, switched to a career on stage and still couldn't get a break. Brendan made his Broadway debut in Simon Bent's comedy 𝗪𝗚 in 2010, starring alongside a phenomenal cast of distinguished actors such as Denise O'Hare and Jennifer Coolidge, the woman who helped bring Bend and Snap to the masses. Sadly, production ended abruptly after just 1 week, having enjoyed 22 previews and 9 regular performances. According to Daily News, the play was considered to be too intimate for a big Broadway theater, and it fell well short of its potential box office. Reviews were also not altogether positive for 𝗪𝗚, though Brendan was generally well received for his performance. Daily News suggested the play has charming moments, but the best word to describe it is weird, though they praise the actor for letting his demented side show and his vanity-free turn. Meanwhile, The Hollywood Reporter observed that Fraser's paunchy, loose-limbed goofiness is endearing, but suggested that the choice to bellow every line wears thin even if it was an obvious part of his characterization in the strained comedy. He'd have to wait a little while longer, but Brendan's comeback was coming, and people would come to respect him as an actor. The Whale. The distributor A24 has released a first-look image of Brendan Fraser as an obese man in Darren Aronofsky's new film The Whale. Brendan's first leading role in nearly a decade, the film follows last year's Steven Soderbergh thriller No Sudden Move. The Whale is a film adaptation of Samuel D. Hunter's award-winning play of the same name. It follows Fraser, a 42-stone man who lives as a social recluse. His life is turned upside down when an opportunity to reconnect with his estranged 17-year-old daughter, played by Stranger Things Sadie Sink, arises. Brendan has described The Whale as like something you haven't seen before and teased his prosthetic-aided transformation in an interview with YouWannaWatch. He said, "The wardrobe and costume was extensive, seamless, cumbersome. This is certainly far removed from anything I've ever done, but not to be coy. I do know it's going to make a lasting impression." When the project was announced, Hunter told Deadline that it had been a labor of love to bring his work from the stage to the big screen. He added, "This story is deeply personal and I'm very thankful it will have the chance to reach a wider audience. I've been a fan of Darren's ever since I saw Requiem for a Dream when I was a college freshman writing my first plays, and I'm so grateful that he's bringing his singular talent and vision to this film." What do you think about Brendan Fraser? Are you a big fan of his? Did we miss anything that you think should have been included? Let us know your thoughts by writing a comment on this video. If you're interested in our other videos, just hover over the videos and just press play. Until next time, watchers, thank you for watching our video.